fact that I believe, and we hear this so much, and that's probably the reason why we are desensitized to it, is because we have heard it so much. But God is up to something. God is saying something. The problem is, I believe there's a whole lot of folk that say they know God. I think they only know Him from a ritualistic point of view, from a superficial experience, instead of knowing the heart, the mind, and the soul of God. And so, for that, we are just welcoming you to come out and to be with us. We are thankful to God for such an awesome privilege to be able to come into your space, into your area, whether it's on your job, whether you're watching it live, or whether you will watch it later. We have learned that God has garnered and established for us a very large following of those who believe in the integrity and the perpetuity of the teachings that we provide. And I will not take that responsibility lightly at all, because everything that the Lord allows us to do is a privilege, and I count it as such. So I just wanted to say good evening and welcome each and every one of you as you are coming to be with us on today. And so, again, we are thankful to God for those of you who are on here with us. And I am bringing these other pages up so that I'll be able to see you and to talk to you and to tell you howdy, 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 okay? Because God is just that good, just that kind, just that gracious, just that loving. And for that, we bless His holy and righteous name. And we give Him all the glory, because every bit of it belongs to Him. So welcome, 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 welcome you one and all to our midweek worship on tonight. And if you don't mind, I would appreciate it if you would be kind enough to share tonight's experience, and it would be just tremendous if you would do so. Lavernon, Kathy, thank you so much for being here with us on this evening. Nancy, I see you as you have come on board with us. Thankful, thankful, thankful for each and every one of you. Linda, Cora, Minister Sarah, Cecile, thank you so much for being here on today. All right. And so we're grateful and thankful to God for that. So make sure that you let everybody know, everybody know that we are on, alive, and well, and that we are here to share the word of the Lord with you on today, on this evening, on this great evening. Janet, bless you for being here. How's your daughter doing? Praying that she is coming along quite well. Jemison, we give the Lord praise and glory for you. Rhonda, Ethel, bless y'all so much. Please share, please share, please share, please share. That'll help us out tremendously on this evening. And we want to be able to talk to as many people as we possibly can on tonight, as we continue to share one with the other. And so we are thankful for you being here. We are grateful for you being here. We are thankful, and we appreciate each and every one of you that takes such time out of your schedules to be a part of our learning sessions. There are those who are with us on this evening that are also a part of our snapshot experiences. Sherry, how are you? Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Iris. I appreciate that info, letting us know that the presentation is up to snuff, up to par, and all is well. Okay. Make sure, Carletta, good evening to you. You are safe and sound as you do so. Myrna, and so we're glad you're here. You should be off of house. Well, bless the Lord for coming off of house arrest. Juanita, Thank you so much for being here. Christine, glory to God. Ella May, thank you so much for being a part of our audience on this evening. We appreciate you being here on today. Iris, bless you. Again, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And so we're going to begin in just a little bit. I know what warm weather does. Sandra, bless you for being here. Okay, good, good. We're going to continue that God will stabilize her and do whatever needs to be done. Lady Harrison, bless you for being here with us on this evening. And please share if you don't mind. If you don't mind, that would be fantastic. Debbie, thank you, Debbie, for being here. And we just want all to be well with each and every one of you as we prepare. I'm seeking the Lord. As I had said before, I actually have 8 books that I've ordered, 3 of which I am going to start reading. And a matter of fact, I plan on starting on one tomorrow, and kind of give me an idea of the direction we want to go in for some of our studies that are coming up real soon. Carolyn, thank you so much. Thank you, 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 thank you. Okay. And so with that, we are grateful to God. Mary, how are you? Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for just being a part of this. I have a question. Are you eating healthy and drinking your water? I had to ask that question. I think that question is pertinent. Okay, Lavonda, thank you. Grateful, 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 grateful. Okay, and so we're going to begin in just a moment, and then I will let you go so you can enjoy the rest of your Wednesday. And this is a great day. Don't forget, Veronica, thank you so much for being here. Gwen, love you, dear. And Robin, good evening, good evening, good evening, good to the evening for you. And so I might get out and walk a little bit. My Fitbit has been having conniptions and congratulating me on the amount of steps that I'm getting in every day. And so I plan, I ain't saying I'm doing it, but I plan on walking around the neighborhood just to get the rest of my steps in because I know I will not get them in this basement, in the man cave. That is not going to happen. Okay. So there are some things, Raymond Vernice, thank you for being here, that you have to do. And I'm praying for better weather because I need my outdoor on the deck in the back of the house moments of watching birds and remember the hummingbirds and trying to get out there wow before my neighbor starts cutting his grass. Okay, Sylvia Scott, thank you for so much for being well. I'm going to go ahead and get started. I know people are coming along as we continue in our study for today, and well, you will be just fine. You got to do something. Got to get your strength. Got to get your strength. Um, we live in an age now where people want to be famous. Denise, how you be? How you be? People want to be famous. People want to be popular. People want to be powerful. Sharon, thank you for being here on this evening. People want to, but the question that I have is what is the motive behind it? I want us to think about this. I really do. I really want us to think about what's the motive? What's the reason behind some of the aspirations that we see in Christianity? What are some of the real aspirations behind some of those things that are happening? And when we look at that, Yeah, it is. It is fantastic. Darlene, bless you for being here. Okay, tell Bootsy we said hello. I love it. I love it. So we're thankful to God for her and praying her continued strength. Good evening, Minister Faye. Thank you for being here. Now, and I have some questions. Can you believe this? I really do. I really do have some questions. Here's the first question I want to ask you. Do you want to be powerful for the Lord or for yourself? Jaleesa, thank you for being here with us on this evening. Think about this. Think about I really want you to think about this because, when we talk about powerful, we probably think about people in Washington. We probably think about people in political life. But when it comes down to influence, when it comes down to Sister Thomas, Deacon Thomas, bless the two of you for being here with us on this evening. What constitutes or what motivates or what promulgates someone to be powerful? Because Cora, there is a motive behind it. And that's where the first question for, do you want to be powerful for the Lord or do you want to do it for yourself? Do you need to be powerful so you can have other people call your name and recognize you and, hey, Katrina, how you doing? And all of that other kind of stuff. Thea, good evening. Glad you made it safe. Excuse me, glad all went well. Lisa, Minister Michael Williams, thank you for being with us on this evening. Do you do it? And the truth of the matter is, if we're really gonna tell the truth, in the Elder Pam, how are you? Larry, bless you for being here with us on this evening. In your infant stages of your growth in the Lord, you probably had a whole lot to do with it. As a young preacher, it's a dangerous thing for people to call your name one time too many. As someone who is able to stand before multitudes of people and to declare the word of God, and you watch the response and the interaction that takes place, it can become a drug. It can become addictive, and you can get to the point that you want to do things for the crowd response but not for the change of that person into the image of the Lord. You get caught up in wanting the noise. You get caught up in wanting the notoriety. You get caught up in people calling your name. But when you grow in the Lord, when you grow up in the Lord, when you become mature in the Lord, all of that should change, because what happens is you will begin to understand that much of what you have done, are doing, or shall do has absolutely nothing to do with you, but the availability of yourself, because it is God who is doing it all. So I'm going to Isaiah 55, and I'm going to be dealing with this for the rest of the week. Isaiah 55, because I think it's overwhelmingly careful. And Cecile, you make a very powerful point, because when you think about fame, okay, when you think about people who have been famous, and I think it was good evening to you, Pastor. I mean, to Elder James Mansell. Think about, I was watching the thing with Neil Sedaka, and he was being interviewed, and he went through that period of time as a songwriter, and his songs were just on the charts, and he was in demand, and all of these things were going on, and he was somebody's somebody. And then all of a sudden that season changed. No longer popular. What happened was the motif of songs changed, the people changed, the times changed, but Neil Sedaka was still in the old way of doing music. And so what happened was, it took him through a horrible time of depression, because the sound, okay, the sound of the crowd, the allurement of people loving you because of your ability to perform becomes addictive. And then when those noises start to quiet and people are going to other people's concerts and not yours, and all of these things are happening, many people who have been a part of stardom have flew into some level of alcoholism or drug addiction or many other, hey Herma, how are you? Many other means of coping with the lack, coping with, hey Yana, how are you? With the noise, the applause, the demand is no longer there because they forget that to everything, Gaither, bless you, to everything there's a season. Can you do that for me, please? Can you put it in the chat? To everything there's a season. Oh, glory to God. Churches go through seasons. If you've done any level of church growth, you understand that churches go through peaks and plateaus, and then they go in other directions. They nosedive. They go all of these things. Erica, good to have you with us. And so, in the midst of this, how do you navigate the low spots? How do you navigate those moments when people are not clapping their hands and applauding or showing up to see you? How do you navigate that? Now I'm gonna spill it over into Christendom because for the most part, many people, not everybody, but many people forget what side their bread is buttered on. They forget who is the one that brought them. They forget who is the one that supplies. They forget because all of a sudden it's all about them. It's all about me. It's all about what I can provide, what I can perform, what I can do. Think about the athletes that made multi millions of dollars and then die in poverty because they don't have the ability to manage what they have because they consistently and foolishly spend in order to be popular. Well, God says something, and I think it's important for us to recognize and to understand in Isaiah 55 because this is so important. To everyone who thirsts comes to the water, and to those who have no money, come buy and eat. Yea, come buy milk and wine. And when we talk about, when we see this in this text about milk and wine, it is actual spiritual symbols of blessings. Okay? God is saying that the blessings I have for you, you can't pay for. The blessings that I have in store for you, the desire that you have to do and to be what I have called you to be, you don't have enough revenue, resources, or popularity to attain it. God is saying, okay, when he talks about milk and wine, he is saying, I am the one who has the ability to provide for you abundant life. And here's the thing that I need to ask. I need to ask this question. And the question is, do you want to live a powerful life? And again, when I talk about powerful, doesn't necessarily mean you on a stage, doesn't necessarily mean that there are thousands of people applauding you, doesn't necessarily mean that everyone knows your name. What it means is wherever the Lord places you, whatever the Lord puts at your hand to do, you need to recognize that whatever it is, he will cause you to abundantly prosper in it. Now, what do I mean by that? I'm glad you asked me that question. It's not about always money dropping in your pocket. A lot of times it's the impact that you have on other people's lives in order for them to live. Now, I didn't say live with a whole lot of money, a whole lot of fame. Lena, bless you, dear. Thank you for being here. To live. God says through you and through the communications and the interactions that you have with other people, and recognizing that I am the source of your supply, what will happen is I will gift you in such a way that wherever you go, people's lives are touched, people's lives are transformed, people are encouraged to be what they need to be according to God's will. And it comes to pass because I'm in covenant with you. Now, I'm gonna slow myself down because I get kind of excited about that, because the truth of the matter is, many times we are the breakers of the covenant. Many times we are not the ones who keep our end of the deal, our end of the bargain. Many times when God enters into covenant with faulty and frail and fickle and funny human beings, it is usually the humans that drop the ball. It's usually the humans that say, "Oh, I can't. No, I'm not going to do that." But yet, still, God remains faithful to the covenant. He gave that covenant with Abraham, and because we have been engrafted because we've been engrafted into the Jewish nation through the bloodshed of Jesus Christ, which means now the promises of God that were given to them also belong to us. I hope somebody is catching where I'm coming from. And so, in the midst of this covenant includes every blessing that was promised to David. Daryl, how are you, sir? Thank you so much for being here. And not only do we have the blessings of David, we also have the blessings of David's seed, which is our Messiah. Which is Jesus the Christ. So look at this. This is some powerful stuff. God says, "Come, if you're thirsty, come. If you have no money, come." He says you don't have to have a dime in your pocket for you to live like you're rich. You do not have to have an abundance in your life in order for you to live the way God has called you to live. This is I understand what you're saying, Ayana. It is so important for us, but the reason that many of us will never attain, will never get to, will never experience the full magnitude of what God has in store for us is because our motive is wrong. And in the text, we're going to find out that many times our motive is wrong. Why do you want money? Isaiah, bless you, my friend. Good to see you here tonight. Why do you want money? And how much money do you want? Why? Oh, why do you want money? And how much money do you want? Now, you need money. Yes, you do. It's the love of it that gets you in trouble, but you need money. But what happens when what you need, your money can't reach? And what is the purpose or the reason for you wanting to have money? One of my reasons for wanting to have money is because I want to be a blessing. See, y'all can't handle that. Many times the reason that people want money is so they can say they got money. And then they can go out and buy this. They can go here. They can do this. They can do that. They can do the other. They can do some all of the other. I want money because I want to be, the one thing is funny. I had ordered some food from Hungry Howie. Elder Treese, how you doing, my friend? And the young lady had came to the door, and when you order for it to be delivered, you put in how much the tip would be, and you do that, and so you do that, and that's what you do, okay? And so when she came to the door, I gave her some money. I ain't gonna tell y'all how much it is, but I gave it to her because I give as the Lord leads. I want you to hear that. I give as the Lord leads. And when I gave her the money, she turned around and she looked at me and she said, "Are you sure?" And I said, "Yeah, yeah, this is what I'm giving you." And she told me, y'all ready for this? She had just come back to work and needed money to go back and forth from the job until she got her next pay. And what I gave her was enough to keep her. I'm going to wait on you. 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 I want to be able. Hey, Crystal, how are you? I want to be able to be led of the Lord to sow into people at the point of a desperate or difficult need in their life and then walk away. Y'all not ready for that. So, see, that's something. Hey, Barb, how are you? That's something that many people do not aspire for because they want to be able to have all of that money so they can brag to everybody about what they're able to do, what they're able to buy, and where they're able to go. And so what God does is once I have done it, he triples and quadruples back into me what I have given to somebody else. All right? Why? Because it's my heart's desire. And so you got to remember that you can come to God with no money and yet still be blessed of God. Here's where you got to check your motive. Are y'all with me? Are y'all with me? I know y'all about ready to flip the channel on me, but I need us to get this because in verse 2 it says, "And why do you spend money for that which is not bread, and your wages for that which does not satisfy? Listen to me, eat what is good, and let your soul delight itself in abundance." Now I want you to get this. I want you to wrap your mind around this because God is saying in this text, why do you spend so much money on stuff that does not sustain you or satisfy you? Now, somebody might say, well, if I had $1 million, I'd find out. What would you, how many people, okay, I'm going to go there. 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 How many people do you know that hit the lottery, that hit the number, that hit the whatever them things are out there, and they get all of that money, and in a month's period of time, they don't have a penny of it left? I'm gonna let this. I'm gonna let this marinate. I'm gonna let this marinate. I'm gonna let this marinate. I need to let this marinate for just a moment. I know people who will come up to me and say, "Pastor, I'm getting ready to give the church such and such and such and such and such," and it don't never come to pass. Why? Because soon as they get it, because they don't know how to manage it, every dime is gone. Look what happens during income tax time. You get that little refund, and the next thing you know, in 2 weeks, it's gone. And so we don't know how to manage because our desires are for ourselves. I know. This is I know y'all probably said we really didn't come in here for this one, but the only way to be free is to deal with the truth. And the truth of the matter is the thing that must be understood is you have to understand the importance of why God wants to bless you. God does not want to bless you just to have. God wants to bless you so you can give, so you can sow, so you can encourage, so you can stabilize other people's lives and recognize that you take absolutely no credit for it. Okay? You turning around and you working 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 and you working, and then now you done worked so much, now you're old and broke down and can't enjoy life. Yeah, okay. All right. All right. Okay. Listen. You how many people do you know that work, they're workaholics, they work all the time and ain't never satisfied? Because guess what? I gotta work a little bit longer because I need some more. 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 I. Everything is about I. Okay? And so in the midst of this, I want us to catch this, okay? And you have to many of the superstars are broke, homeless. They die as paupers. How can you make $100 million in your lifetime and don't have a penny when it's over? So he says, listen carefully to me and eat what is good, and let your soul delight itself in a. Let your listen. Oh, listen. You prosper as your soul prospers. If your soul is in deficit, your finances are in deficit. Oh my God, I know y'all don't like me today, but I've got to deal with what I've got to deal with. If your soul is operating in abundance, other things will do the same as well. This is what he's trying to get you to recognize, to understand, and to see. And it's not about making six figures. It's not about making a whole lot of money. It's about you trusting God with what you have where you are. I tell this all the time. I tell this all the time. You can work at McDonald's and live well because God will provide favor for you that will open doors for you that other people thought were impossible. Oh, okay. Let me move on because I'm boring y'all to death. I can tell. But okay, and here's what he says. Here's what he says. Because in order for you to be blessed, in order for you to be in abundance, in order for you to live life that God wants you to live, he says, incline your ear and come to me. Hear, and your soul shall live, and I will make an everlasting covenant with you, the sure mercies of David. Look at what he's saying. He said, if you would just listen. Don't you remember? Don't you remember what we used to tell our children? Why don't you listen to me? Why don't you pay me any attention? Are y'all hearing me? And God is saying, if you would just listen to me, your soul will live. You will be in an everlasting covenant. Now I need us to get this, because whenever God enters into covenant with a person, the covenant that that person has with God outlives them. Y'all better hear what I'm saying. Because whenever God enters into covenant with you, that covenant is passed on to your children, your grandchildren, your great grandchildren, your great great great. Okay, y'all don't believe me, do you? No, y'all really don't believe me. The covenant that God made with Abraham, he said that what I'm going to bless you with is for you, your seed, and your seed seed. He says, as the sands of the sea are, so shall my covenant be with you, which means the covenant that God makes with you to provide, to take care of, to be there and be everything as long as you listen to him, will perpetuate itself past your lifetime. Much of what the Lord has done for me had nothing to do with me. It had everything to do with what my parents and my foreparents did. Now, they weren't good managers of money, but they were great managers of Jesus. He says, if you would just listen to me, you would actually know how to live. Do you know? Yeah, there was a time when stuff and things, and I still like gadgets and different things. I still like electronics. I still like having some things available to me. But do you want to know what floats my boat now? Y'all not see, after you've been blessed with as many houses as we have, after you've been blessed with as many cars as we have, after you've been blessed with the amount of clothes, and half of them we ain't never gonna wear again, you begin to recognize where contentment comes from. You know what floats my boat? To be able to sit out on my deck in the backyard and tell God, thank you that I made it this far. Now, if that's not a shout, I don't know what is. I'm getting ready to mess y'all up with this covenant. I'm getting ready to mess y'all up. Veronica, are you hearing what I'm saying? Lavernon, are you here? Kathy, are you hearing what I'm saying? Minister Faye, Thea, Denise, Jemison, Elder Treese, Cecile. I'm getting ready. I'm getting ready. I'm getting ready. I'm getting Daryl. I'm getting ready to mess y'all up because, Minister Sarah, many of you have no clue that the reason, hey D, how are you? The reason that your family is still intact, and the reason as many of your family, including you, are still alive is because of the covenant that God made with you. The enemy wanted to take you out years ago, and your family and your children and your grandchildren and your great grandchildren. The enemy did not want you to get to that point, Tom, where you can grow and prosper and learn how to be what God has called you to be. But because of the covenant that God entered into with you, he put the limitations of infiltration, the limits he put on that in your family. See, y'all don't like me. Y'all don't like me today because it's taking y'all a minute for you to catch this. He has entered into this covenant, okay? He says, I will make an everlasting. When he talk about everlasting, that means it goes past your lifetime. An everlasting covenant with you, okay? Indeed, verse 4, I have given you as a witness to the people, a leader and a commander for the people. Now, here's what you've got to get. It comes with responsibility. It comes with response. God's not going to dump all of this. Trinette, how you doing? God is not going to dump all of these blessings into the life of an irresponsible person. Why would God bless you with the riches of his kingdom and you're not even close to being kingdom minded? Did you, Robin? I need to know, did you hear what I said? Walina, did you hear what I said? Let me go back because I know there's a 2-minute delay on this, but let me go back. Much of the blessings and the sustaining power of God in your family is because of the covenant. Because the truth of the matter is the enemy wanted to wipe all of us out. Okay. I gotta stop because I'm getting ready to get excited. I'm getting ready to get beside myself. And so I think we all got to recognize. He says, I've given you to be a witness to the people and a leader and a commander for the people. He says, as I bless you, as I pour into you, as I provide for you, I also place you in a platform of responsibility in the lives of other people so that they can see something greater than you. I want you to recognize that I have made you a witness because people, Tamla, I'm trying to get us to catch this. 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 I wish somebody had a bigger mitt. I'm trying to get you to catch the power of the covenant that exists between us and God. And all the times that we dropped the ball and we said, I quit, I ain't doing no more, God says, but I'm in covenant with you. And so, Valerie, this is important for us to see, to recognize, and to understand, Minister Marcia. This is some powerful stuff. He says, because I blessed you, you've also got to be a witness. You must be a witness for me. You must always let it be known that everything you are, everything you have, everything you own, every place you go, every possession you have took place because of what's going on between me and you. They need to understand that you can have riches and not be happy. They need to understand that you can have fame and not be satisfied. They need to understand that you can make a ton of money, but a ton of money can't make you. And they need to understand that your peace, your solace, your contentment is in me. Because in me, you live, move, and have your being. Okay? Put it in the chat. Put it in the chat. I live, move, and have my being because he's in me. I live, move, and have my being because he, capital H-E, is in me. Okay? And so in the midst of this, he says, I've also made you a commander, a leader, and commander for the people. Now, notice it doesn't say of the people, but for the people. I have blessed you so abundantly that people will follow you. People will follow your lead. People will follow who you are without you even opening your mouth. Here's something that's going to mess y'all up. And I know many of you have never paid any attention to it, and you probably will not even notice it or recognize it until we get to glory. But there are people who are mimicking you, whether it's a child, an adolescent, a teenager, a young adult, or an adult, because they see your lifestyle. Now, they're not going to come up to you and say, how do you, 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 how do you? No, they're not going to do that. But they are observing how well do you handle things under fire. They are observing how consistent are you in your worship and blessing the Lord. They are observing how faithful you are in what you do and what you say. And they are saying, I want to be just like them. And what they don't understand is that they are not mimicking and becoming you. They are being molded into who Jesus says they shall be. Oh, bless his holy name. I am what I am by the grace of God. Okay? That's important. That's important. So, and he says that you'll be called a nation. Surely you shall call a nation, excuse me, surely you shall call a nation you do not know. This is an amazing thing that's going on in this text. He says, he says, he says, surely you shall call a nation you do not know, and nations who do not know you shall run to you. Okay, and soon as I get through this, I'm gonna be done. I'm gonna be done. Have you ever had someone out of the clear blue sky you don't know, and the truth of the matter is you probably don't even want to be bothered, and they show up, and they show up because God has led them to you, because what you have is what they need. Let me say this again. Let me say this again. Let me add a little more to this. And what you have to offer is more than money. Now I'm gonna say this, and I forget who it was that I was talking to. But the thing that must be understood that the places, the positions that the Lord has allowed me to occupy, these things hunted me down. I'm gonna tell you a story. The first time I went to the district meeting, and the district was huge at that time, but to me it was foolishness. And I said, "Oh, I ain't got time for this junk because this don't make no sense." And Pastor Raymond Mason looked at me and he said, "Son, you can't change nothing from the outside." That messed me up. Then I became moderator. Then I became state president. Then some other things happened for me in leadership in the Gamaliel Foundation. Started an organization called Action, still in existence. Moved on from that to the Mahoning Organizing Collaborative, which is now OOC, the Ohio Organizing Collaborative, with a budget of $10 million a year. The budget has already been raised for 2024, working on the money for 2025. It is the largest organization of in the state of Ohio. Nobody can touch what OOC does, and I'm their board chair. Talked to a young lady at the funeral She says, yeah, you're on the board of the company I work for, Compass. I've been a part of JJC. I've been a part of this. I've been a part of that. I was on the Ween Foundation. There are so many things that knocked on my door. And let me tell you why they knocked on my door. It is because I want to make sure that people prosper where they are. I want to make sure that people grow in the knowledge of who God created. I want to make sure that the person who feels that they have no voice whatsoever understands that God has positioned them for such a time as this. You remember that, Minister Sarah? I'm trying to get y'all. There are more people. Listen, when Al Sharpton and all of those guys were running for president, I was there to introduce them. I met Congressman Danny Davis and State Senator Barack Hussein Obama before he became president of the United States. I have introduced Valerie Jarrett to an audience in D.C. of at least 5,000 people. Why does God open these doors? Because he knows my heart. And I know somebody's going to go out of here and say, oh, he think he all that. No, I'm not. He thinks he's, no, I'm not. I am what I am by the grace of God. And half the other stuff I ain't even told you that the Lord has done for me and the Lord has provided for me because I'm a leader. I'm a leader and I'm a commander for the people, which means there are days when I have to be out front and take the bullets so that other people can live. Y'all not ready for this. Y'all really not ready for this. And I'm trying to tell you. I'm trying to tell you. I'm trying to tell you. My life has been rich and enriched by the things that God has allowed and permitted me to do, not because I was worthy of it, not because I was so great, not because I was so good. It's because I was yielded. And so here's all I'm saying. The same God that elevates can elevate you. Same God that provides will provide for you. Same God. I pastor in Youngstown, Ohio. Most people don't even think about Youngstown. We put Youngstown on the map. I know y'all don't like me. I know y'all don't like me, but I'm telling you, when they used to mention Youngstown, Ohio, everybody would drop their head and say, oh my God. They don't do that like they used to because there's some people who are standing up and being seen and heard for the sake of the people. Okay? And so that's what you have to recognize. He will do this for you. He says, I'll make nations come to you. So as I was saying, and then I'm gonna let you go. As I was saying, people will walk up to me and sit down and talk to me. And I told you the story all the time because Lady Harrison is on here. We'll be in Disney World eating ice cream, and somebody will come up and sit down to me and start a conversation. And at that time, our kids were younger, and Lady Harrison would take the kids. I'm like, okay, come on, y'all, let's go. You know, your daddy up to it again. And I didn't have money to offer them. At that time, we had a little Renault Alliance, and the money that we had from income tax, we packed them little kids in this little car, and I would drive all night long because I wanted to make sure, along with Lady Harrison, that our kids had what we did not. And I had something to offer and was too stupid to know that I had something to offer because I was so busy thinking about myself and that ice cream in 90-degree weather. I didn't realize that God may have saved somebody's life by the encounter that we had sitting on that wall. I'm going to tell you this story. And I didn't realize this until I ran into this young lady at the women's retreat of the Ohio Baptist State Convention. I believe, I can't remember the year, it might have been 2014. She had come to the church, suicidal. She was that day going to kill herself. And God spoke to me, never seen her before, spoke to me to speak to her as she was preparing to end her life. That God said, no, you will not do that because you are fearfully and wonderfully made. This young lady came up to me and said, I want to thank you because if you had not spoke to me that day, I wouldn't be here right now. Y'all can't handle that. Y'all can't handle that because to whom much is given, much is required. And so I will make you a commander of the people. I will cause nations to be drawn to you that you don't even know. He said nations will run to you because of what you have to offer. Okay, I gotta go. I done kept y'all too long. I done kept y'all way too long. I'm so sorry. But I needed to share that. I pray that this was a blessing. And I know sometimes we want to rip roaring and hollering and all of that kind, but sometimes we need to understand the full depth. Okay? The full depth of what God wants to do in our lives. And I'm gonna mess you up when I say this. To touch people outside of your church, outside of your church life. Sometimes people want you, sometimes God wants you to touch the lives in your neighborhood. The lives in your family. And when I say that, I ain't talking about us. Oh, you know what? You know better. I don't know why you act like you act. Sometimes, rather than fussing and cussing, why don't you try encouraging your family? Why don't you try? Why don't you try to tell them, I know you messing up. I know you're drunk, high, and crazy. I know you living right now and ain't got good sense. But the love of God is in your life and will keep you until you really know what life is. Sometimes you have to plant a different seed. And it's a seed that you plant, one waters, and only God gives the increase. Oh, I gotta go. Thank y'all so much for giving me this time with you on tonight, because you had a whole lot of other things you could be doing, a whole lot of other people you could be watching. You could be watching your television shows and relaxing. But the fact that you gave me this time, I appreciate you more than you will ever know. I thank you so much for believing in the integrity of the teaching ministry that God has blessed me with. And I thank you that you have spent this time with me today. I love you with the love of Jesus, who is the Christ. And I know, and I'm speaking it prophetically, eyes have not seen, nor ears heard, nor has it entered into your heart what great things God has in store for you. I think I'm going to put my tennis shoes on and get out here and walk. May God bless you. May He keep you, is our prayer.